Hey crafters, this is Mai here. So today what we are going to do is we are going to assemble our heart sign shelf sitter. Now, this craft is going to be most likely a difficult one for us to assemble, but we're going to work through it and we're going to complete it together. Now, I'm going to be using my art glitter glue here for all of my gluing. I also have my bone folder that I will be using. We're also going to want to make sure that we probably have some tweezers handy for us, okay? Now, as you can see, I have all of my pieces. They're cut out. The ones that are stacked together, this is going to be the top part of my sign where it's my hearts and they're all visible. And then these 4 pieces here, they're going to be kind of our base and our stand. And this is where the difficult part is going to be. Now, we're going to start here first just because it'll be easier for us to start here first. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this circle piece here and we're going to take the piece that has all of these tabs here and we're just going to begin to fold along all of these tabs here. We want to make sure that they are all folded down. And this is where, if you're using your bone folder, you can go back and just kind of make sure that they are all pressed down and that they are all folded. This is going to be a personal choice if that's what you want to do. I don't always use this here. When the tabs are this big, I sometimes just let it go because I feel like my fingers will do enough justice here with folding these down, okay? But we want to make sure that we've got both sides of these tabs folded down here. And once we do, I want you then to also go ahead and just kind of run your finger there to break up the fibers here of the paper. This is going to be a really important one as well. You could probably do it this way so that way they kind of curve in on each other instead of the other way. Because we're going to glue this down to this circle piece here. So we are just going to pick a spot and we're going to get started. So I'm going to add glue to these tabs here. And what we're going to do is just pick somewhere along the circle and press it down and start gluing. Now, when you are doing this, you want to go pretty slow. All of this is a curved piece. And so you want to take your time. It's not a race. You don't want to make sure, you want to make sure that your edges there are right along the edges and that you're not adding the, see, I'm getting quiet now because I'm so focused to make sure that I'm not going too far in with the edge here and that I'm not too far out. Okay, now if you have any glue that's seeping through, it's okay, because if you're using the art glitter glue like I am, your glue is going to dry clear. You don't have anything to worry about. So you can see that again, I'm just adding the glue to the tabs and then I'm working my way around my circle here. And like I said, no rush. Take your time. This is the hardest part. And if it doesn't work, then you'd have to restart. So just take your time with that. This will be why the video will most likely end up being a little bit long because this part is hard. Okay, and I'm not going to speed it up because this one is all curved. And so I'm going to make sure that you guys are able to see everything here that I'm doing as well. So you can see I'm just kind of coming right along the edge. And once you get to the other side there, you just kind of want to, I pressed that one too far in. You just kind of want to continue just to take your time there. So I probably could have just done the 2 because now this part's going to come out here a little, but it's okay. And there we go. Okay. And so you'll see that it'll kind of come and meet right up at the other side. Once you do, you want to take this outer tab, this last piece right there. You want to tuck it in on the inside, and that's going to seal and connect right to our starting piece. And so again, just take your time with it and make sure that everything gets sealed off there. Okay, and so there we go. So you can kind of already see this is going to be our base. It's got a little bit of a width here. And there we go. Okay, so now let's work with this part now. You can see again all of the score lines here. There's a little bit of a tab here, and then these tabs here at the bottom, they don't have any way to connect to each other, and that's okay. We're just gonna bend right along the score lines. Right now, as we're doing this, they can go any old way that they want, but what we want to do is now score these longer sides. And so you're definitely going to want to make sure that you've got your scoring tool ready for this one. Nice, sharp, crisp lines along this side here. Very, very important, because this is going to be our stand part, okay? So again, use your bone folder. Just get those score lines sharp and crisp. And once you have them pressed it down, use your bone folder. Just make sure that everything is good. Do it a couple times there. And then we're going to do the same thing here for the tab. And I think I forgot to bring this one in, so I'll have to fix that in the file for you guys before I hand it out to you. Okay. Okay, so once you have it there, we're going to fold the other way and just make sure that it's good. Okay, and now what you can see is this piece, oops, I forgot to do this one. It's all going to fold and glue right on top, so we're going to end up with like this long rectangle, okay? So having this piece here, what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down right on top, okay? So add your glue right along the edge of this tab, which I'm going to fix the file because I forgot to do this part here. So this part will be on an angle as well. And so what you're going to do is then just press it down, and you want to hold this. And you really want to make sure that the glue has a chance to dry here. Do not let it not dry, okay? If you need to, you can take a ruler or a pen and fish it through on the inside here to give it that extra time to dry. So I'm going to go on this side here, and then I'm also going to go from this side here. And you want it to dry. You don't want it to come up at all, okay? So once you do that, then we've got this part where the tabs are. Now we want to fold these as well. And these are all going to get tucked in to this bottom right here. Well, this is actually going to be the top, but they're going to get tucked in, and then we're going to make sure that they glue, okay? So we're going to add glue here along this part and along here and along here. And you're going to get your fingers a little sticky as you push this to fit in right there. Now, then press it upside down so that way it dries. If you want, and you have something that's long enough, you can push it down in there and give it a chance to dry as well, okay? All right, okie doke. So now for the opposite end, what we want to do is now fish that through our base here that we made. So you want to kind of go all the way down and kind of push it so that it goes through. So you can see, let me do it this way so you guys can see. Push it so it goes all the way through, okay? So you can see it like that. Then we want to open this part up like this, okay? Because this is going to glue now to this part, and then we're going to glue it all together, okay? All right, so we're gonna bring this back up just a little bit, and this will be where it gets tricky, okay? We want to press it down so that way it's all level, okay? All right, so once we do that, we're going to add the glue. So we're gonna add the glue here into the center of these, and then we're gonna kind of come around here at the edges. And so when we were doing this, the top part of this, we were taking our time, right? And we were going really slow. But for the bottom, we kind of have to move a little bit faster, okay? Especially because of this top piece as well, all right? And our glue is gonna dry. So I'm holding it here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm coming right along the edge, and I'm pressing down gently as I go all the way around. Okay, so you can see I'm pressing down gently. I also should have said that if you want, well, it'll be all right, regardless. Once you have it down, then I want you to flip it over and press it down and give it a chance. Kind of, you know, shift it here on your table just to make sure that that glue is really getting everywhere. Then press down on the center here to make sure again that that glue is getting everywhere, and then check. If you have any pieces that are coming up, then just go back and press it down. We want to make sure that all of this is bonding to the paper, okay? Make sure too that this centerpiece is standing straight up at 90 degrees and that it's not tipping down on an angle. Otherwise, if it's tipping on an angle, you're gonna see that over time, your stand will start to eventually bend a lot more, okay? So you wanna make sure that it's really at that 90 degrees. I'll see if I can do it this way. I can see mine still coming up here. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add some more glue here. Don't be afraid to add more glue. If you find that yours is still coming up, don't be afraid, use hot glue. Hot glue is fast and it's quick and it's hot. So don't be afraid, you can use that too. Okay, and let me just check the other side. And don't be afraid just to add more glue in here. We want to make sure that this is bonding and it is completely secure. Okay, so again, I'm just going to press this down and check and make sure that this is not leaning. Okay. All right, so once you have everything good, you can see it there. We're gonna put this off to the side for just a moment, and now we're gonna work on the heart part. So while we're leaving this here, it's gonna continue to dry. It's gonna continue to make sure that it stays secure there. And we're gonna start gluing some of these down. So I'm gonna start here with my wording. I'm gonna use my tweezers to hold this. I'm gonna use my other hand here. And I'm just gonna go through and add some glue right along here. Then I'm going to press it down right kind of in the center of the heart. Now these wordings, it's stuck there. There we go. Now these wordings are kind of set to fit right in the center of the heart there, so that way it kind of spans the whole way. I've got a lot of glue seeping through. I don't have my paper towel here, so I'm gonna just leave it and put it to the side, and hopefully it dries in a nice way. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing here with this one for the together words. Again, just adding a little bit of glue here. And then I'm gonna place it down right here in the center. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing here for always. I'm just adding some glue again one more time. So this is a fun one, a fun craft for us to do. and to assemble. It's just that it's kind of tricky with that base there. But as you can see, it's not terrible. And once you get the hang of it, you could always, you know, do more and make it kind of quick. And this one's not totally on. And I can't shift this one over. Okay, it's all right. Lots of glue seeping, but that's okay. All right, so I've got my wording down. And so now for the hearts, it's really simple here. What we're going to do is just kind of layer these hearts, one right on top of the other. Now for this one, I want to say that if you wanted to add micro dots to kind of give it more of a pop too, you could do that. So wait, before I continue with that, let me just say, I'm going to hold this here between my fingers just to kind of make sure that I've got everything lining up. And then I'm going to press it down. And then I'm going to add this white layer right on top. I'm going to do the same thing here. Just adding my glue to the back, and then I'm going to hold it between my fingers to get my alignment. I'm going to put my finger right there in the center of that one. And okay, so you can see there it goes. And it's lining up, one right on top of the other. Okay. So like I was saying with the micro dots, if you wanted to, like let's say you wanted to add a micro dot here between this red and the base layer, you definitely could do that. It would give it definitely a little bit more of a pop. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to go ahead and do that here just because I think it will look fun. Okay, so I'm going to add 3 micro dots here to the back of this. 1, 2, 3. But with this one, these micro dots, these 3 micro dots here, well, these are regular foam dots, not micro dots. For these 3 though, I'm not going to add any more because when you begin to add a lot of the foam dots here in between, what you're going to see happen is that it's going to change the weight of the craft. And this one's like really stuck. You can probably hear it. There it goes. I think I was grabbing too much there with my tweezers. This one's giving me difficulty too. Oh, I guess it's just one of those. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to add this one right here. And so it will add another dimension to it when it's like standing here on the design, but you don't want to have too many going there because it will change the weight and it'll make the weight of it more towards the front, and eventually then you'll start to see some more tipping, okay? So you don't want to add too many. I'm only going to do that one there. And now I'm going to just add some glue here to the back, and then I'm going to press this one down right here in the center as well. And then I'm going to now add these here. And so you want to line up an eyeball where you're putting the wording on the heart. So kind of make sure that the center of the heart here is lining up with the center of the heart in the back. You just kind of want to eyeball it, you know, obviously use your better judgment. You don't want to line it up over here or over here. You want to really go for the center there. If it's a little off, like it's not really going to show up, but if it's like really off, then it will show up. Okay. So, you know. Okay, so now we've got this one here that we're just going to place right there. And now for the last one. So, you know, you saw how I had a lot of glue kind of seeping out there. I'm going to use my pin here just to wipe this bit away because there's a little bit more that hasn't totally dried. But my first one, you saw that those were able to really dry there. And so there really wasn't that much left. All right, so we're going to add just a little bit of glue here to the back of this one. Then we're going to press it down right there, and that looks great. And so now when we go to add it to our stand part, we're going to find that it's not going to line up perfectly. And because of our hearts here with this hole, you can see some of it shining through the back. What you want to do in order to, again, think about the center of gravity and just with the weight and distribution of the weight, what we want to do is we don't want to add it so that this bottom heart is all the way up here at the top of our stand, okay? Because then we're gonna see, again, tipping. We wanna allow kind of the center of where our 3 hearts are to kind of fit, so that way majority of our design is focused and weighing on the stand itself, especially this centerpiece here, okay? Because again, we have to just think about distribution of weight and that, you know, it's important, all right? So we're gonna go through right about there. And so we'll be able to see a little bit of this coming through. I had gone through the design in my head a lot and just was working it out. And there was just really no way to really kind of cover that up. I don't know. I kind of really struggled with it, but you know, if you want to, you can kind of come off to the side if like it really bothers you and do it that way. But again, think about the center of gravity and just distribution of weight. You might start to see some tipping, okay? So I'm gonna just kind of keep mine right here along the center. And so I want you to flip it over and really kind of take a look at the back and what's happening here, okay? So we're gonna go right about there. So I'm gonna add glue from probably the center of this heart almost to the top right here of this one, of the second heart that's over here on this part of the design, okay? And so I'm gonna go right about here to about there, really kind of covering that one there and just adding it into this space right here. All right, and then I'm gonna go back. And so before you actually glue, find your seam as well for when you were doing this part. You don't want it to end up so it's more in the front. You kind of want to keep it towards the back, okay? So let's do it this way. So again, I'm going to make sure that seam's towards the back. I'm going to line this up right about right there. So I'm covering all of the glue spot that I just did, okay? And so there, you can see this. So this is really fun. It's really cute. This will be a neat one to just kind of set out somewhere for Valentine's Day. And it's freestanding, so this will be great decor. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this craft. Be sure to tag me in your pictures or send me an email with them. I'd love to see how yours turns out. And thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and have fun crafting. Thanks.